going to discuss the 4 traits that are winning in business. That's what we want to do today. Hello and welcome to Scrushy on Business. I'm Richard Scrushy. It's great to have you today. You know, there's certain things that you need to do to be able to have a successful business, and we're going to go over those things today. And we're going to take them one at a time. And today I'm going to focus on just 4. You know, one of the first one that I'd like to hit is that it's not always the business you're in; it's the tools that you use to build that business. You know, there's a big push right now to do really high-tech things and to build AI companies. But, you know, it's not really necessary to build an AI company, but it is necessary to be able to use the AI tool in your company. And what we're seeing right now today that is pretty doggone impressive is that people using AI have been able to really reduce cost in operating the company, in starting the company, in building your presentations. AI does a fantastic job. AI is doing a lot of the back office work now, and there's no reason why you shouldn't learn to use it. And matter of fact, if you're going to be successful in business, you're going to need that tool. You're going to need to be able to reduce your cost by using some of the technology that is available to us today to bring your costs down. And that's what AI is doing. So in the back offices of really successful companies now, AI has replaced lots of employees, numerous employees. There's so many things that that AI can do today. Over the last few years, businesses with fewer than 250 employees have been responsible for more than half of all the new jobs created in this country. Not the Fortune 500 companies, no, not the mega corporations, but the guy with 6 employees, the woman that's running a 12-person agency. Small business is still the engine room of the American economy. Now, right now, it's running hotter than it ever has in many years. And this is something that we want to focus on. And there's so many people out there are thinking, how can I build some big mega company? Now, I built several mega companies. But let me tell you, again, building small companies can be fantastic. You might want to say that, let me give you a stat, for example, okay? Small commercial loans, okay, the kind that are under like $1 million, okay, the regular entrepreneurs actually, that they actually take out, and it might be 100 grand, 200 grand, 500 grand. But it went from 386 billion in 2022 to 421 billion by the middle of 2025, and that's banks looking at small business owners and saying, "Hey, we believe in you again." So a lot of things that we need to focus on here in terms of building a new business. But I'm going to talk to you about the four things that are winning on business, and one of them is using the proper tools and being able to reduce your cost. It's sad, but there are a lot of, the back office used to have maybe 10 people in the back office doing what AI can do now without even having an employee. But being able to use that, understanding it, is very, very, very important. So you want to make sure that you're using the proper tools. You don't have to own the tool, but you can use the tool, and that's important. And the second thing I want to talk about is the concept of repeat business. Not the one sale, but building companies that have repeat businesses. And there are a lot of companies that we can look at that are repeat businesses. As a matter of fact, I want to pull a couple of them out. I kind of looked that up. I wanted to, talk about that so that we can understand it. Even a landscape company, that's a repeat business, right? They have to cut your grass every week. I mean, they show up and they cut your grass every week, and even in the beauty business and the haircut business, the salon business, people have to go on a regular basis, and that's a repeat business, and that's something that has to be done on a regular basis, and so therefore, it's a good business to be in because the customers keep coming back, and if you do a good job, you'll have that customer from now on. And you think about it, companies like H&R Block, every year you got to get your taxes done. Jiffy Lube, every 5,000, 10,000 miles, you've got to go into Jiffy Lube. You got to get your oil changed. Service Master, for example, and Terminex, spraying for insects and varmints around your house. The massages. Massage Envy has been a very successful company because and it has a membership model, so it works extremely well. Edible arrangements, for example, 1-800-Flowers. That's recurring events because there's always different events where birthdays and anniversaries and holidays and things like this. The calendar. You have these different events, and so you're going to have repeat business, and people will use you over and over and over. Stanley Steamer has been very successful. That was a company with repeat business. True Green, the treating the yards and the fertilizing and killing the bugs in the yards and whatnot. So, and we talked about companies like Great Clips and Super Clips and Super Cuts and different companies, So these are all repeat business companies, and repeat business is so important. And we saw that when my children were running the pizza business. You got to have the same customers coming every week. And when those customers quit coming and you don't have the repeat business because you didn't do the right things that you should have done to keep them coming back, or your quality of your product went down, or you didn't give good service, or you did something to make the customer mad, and the customer quit coming, and you lose that repeat business. But on a repeat business basis, if you have 10 customers start out first month and you keep them, and the next month you get another 10, and the next month another 10, and another 10, and you keep all those, and by the end of the year you got 120 customers, and if you're making $1,000 per customer per month, then you're looking at $120,000 a month, and that continues to grow. But you don't, and then you may lose some of those customers because they may move away, they may not need the products anymore, or whatever it is you're doing. But you got to keep the majority of your repeat business. And if you can keep 70, 80% of your repeat business, you're going to grow a very successful business. That is so important. So, being able to use the tools today that are available to us, that's number one. That's winning in business if you use the tools. Number two, creating a business and making sure that your business has repeat customer. That's winning too. That's a winning concept, and it's winning in business today. So you want to make sure that you understand that, and as you build your company, that you're focused on repeat business and making sure that you don't lose any of those customers. And then the third thing that I want to talk about is the selling into pain. Now, what do I mean, selling into pain? Not hype. You can hype, everybody needs this, right? And so that'll last maybe for a little bit, and you'll get some people that'll try it. But if you're selling into pain, in other words, you're doing something that makes our lives easier, makes people's lives easier, takes off some burden off of them, and allows them to be able to move quicker and not worry about that. Let me give you one. My dry cleaning business, okay? I can wash and iron shirts. I know how to iron a shirt, and I can make it look good, and not a problem, right? But this particular shirt, it did go to the cleaners, and they starched it for me, and I go back because I have a hard time sitting down and ironing. I remember the days when I'd pull out every shirt that I was going to wear that week, and I got the ironing board out, and I just ironed them all and got them all ready, and I'd hang them up, and I had the time to do it. But it's a convenience, and so they're selling into pain. They're taking that off of us. We don't have to worry about washing it. We don't have to worry about ironing and starching it and making sure that it looks nice for the next week so that I've got my clothes ready. But selling into pain, taking things off of people, making their life easier. And I hate to say it, but the landscape business, if I had time, I'd love to go out and cut all my grass and weed eat and do all of that. But having the people come and keep our yard up takes a lot off of me. I don't have to worry about that. I can focus on time with my family. I can focus on other things. So, when you think about businesses like, cleaning the houses and landscape and things like that, don't look down on those businesses. Those businesses are successful businesses, and there are a lot of people that make very good living, doing those kinds of things. And small business is huge, and there's a real need for it. Let me give you an example. Mary Maids, Molly Maid, house cleaning franchises that were built entirely around weekly and biweekly recurring visits. The unit economics assume years of service, not just one cleaning, but building those customers and having a lot of different customers is so important. I was looking up some of these businesses to give you some examples, and let me share some things with you. It's kind of fun. Two Maids and a Mop. Okay, started with $150,000 in personal savings by a founder who was inspired by Warren Buffett, and they built a customer. And it was built around customer feedback that directly controls employees' pay. So getting you get good feedback, and they pay the workers even more. Do you know that they're doing $25 million a year in revenue, and they have 82 locations, cleaning almost 400,000 homes a year? So don't frown on those things. Antonio's Barbershop. This is another one. I mean, it started with two small small 2-chair barbershop, and the founder in Malta. And after the founder trained he was trained as an apprentice and refined his craft in the Netherlands. Okay, well today he's got numerous locations, and he's doing extremely well with several hundred clients. To give you another one, Wolf's Auto Detailing. That's small business. Joey Sanchez quit a job that overworked him to start a one-person auto dealing business focused on quality and convenience. Now he's doing $3,000 a month. He's only working 3 days a week, and he only started with $5,000. So he's making a living. Go Green Cleaning and Maintenance. Nicholas Ciano started an exterior home cleaning company with a small advertising budget and a truck. He's doing $20,000 a month. He's got 3 people working for him. Hey, not bad. Clean Lots. Founder Brian Winch started this commercial litter cleaning service in 1981 as a side hustle with just $250 in startup capital, inspired by his dad's old side gig cleaning in a shopping plaza. He's doing $500,000 a year now, cleaning commercial properties in 150 cities. So these are things, that can be very successful. Las Vegas Information Security. This is an interesting company. A solo cybersecurity consultant company started after the founder kept hearing stories of small businesses failing victim to cyber attacks with no preparation. He's doing $168,000 a year now in his consulting business, and he started with $2,500. So again, he's done quite well with that. Here's another one. Eden Data, started by a singer, former Cisco, who realized small companies couldn't afford to hire what he used to be full-time, so he sold the same expertise in a flat-fee subscription. And he grew to 4 people now. He's doing $45,000 a month. Well, that's nothing to, $45,000 a month, he's making a living. Let's see. Made This, Maidthis. Neil Parinka started with just one cleaner in Los Angeles, specializing narrowly in Airbnb and vacation rental cleaning rather than trying to serve everyone. Today, they are doing $10 million a year in revenue. Now, boy, that's interesting, isn't it? These are just some examples of companies that have recurring revenue. Number one. And they're small companies. They're not huge, but these people took a risk. They're making a living, and they're not having to work for somebody else, and they've done quite well with it. So again, recurring revenue, yes, absolutely. And they're selling into pain. So many of these, they take the pain away from the individual. Something makes your life easier. So so important. Let's see. I wanted to show a couple other things. When we get into healthcare, like taking care of the elderly, taking that off of families. There's so many different things we can do in healthcare that eliminate pain and make life easier. Home healthcare, durable medical equipment companies. This all kind of things. Sitting with elderly sitting companies, home health and nursing assistants that can go in and do things in the home. Even the hospice home is so important and takes a burden off the family when they have a loved one that's dying of a terminal disease, and you have the hospice people going in to help with all of that. It's so important. And the other thing that is number 4 is the niche. Niche beats being too broad. What do I mean by that? If you try to build a business that takes care of everybody, you can find yourself into not doing so well. Trying to focus on too many things at one time. So, another thing that is winning in business is niche work. Okay, and you want to make sure that when you build your business that you are clearly understand who your customer is, and but make sure there are enough people in that niche to where you can make a profit. You want to make sure you got to kind of explore and do some due diligence in terms of what is the niche and how big is it. But it's important that you're very focused on making sure that you do an excellent job to bring in that niche. Whether that niche might be over 65, it might be under 30, it might be people that have a certain level of income or don't have a certain level of income that you're trying to sell to, and certain issues. So, and it might be in the sports area where you're trying to sell to teenagers or high school kids or college kids or just health, a business for folks that are trying to just stay healthy. I don't know, but there are different segments that you can dial in on. So being very focused is important to and making sure that you know who your niche is. And if it's an adult niche, if it's male, it could be female. It just depends. But you want to do something that makes our life better. You want to sell into the pain. You want to make sure it's a recurring business, and you want to use current tools, AI, and any other technology that you can use today that will reduce your cost of operating. Some of the AI programs are excellent on putting your marketing program together, developing your PowerPoint presentations. I'm just blown away with the quality of some of the things that AI can do today. It's very, very impressive, incredible actually, that they're able to do things and take that load off of us. And I think it's going to eliminate a lot of jobs, especially people that are focused on, that were doing that back office work and developing, things. I remember having to have a couple of graphic people work on PowerPoint presentations for days and just to get them developed, and we trying to get the right look and and all of that can take place in 15, 20 minutes now with good AI. You just save so much money, but not only save it, it can do it fast. And the thing that I'm finding out is you can build an Excel spreadsheet with AI in 30 minutes that will give you everything you need when you start to analyze a business. You just got to provide it all the proper information, and that would have taken an accountant maybe 2 or 3 days to have done a 5-year Excel spreadsheet on a business. Once you loaded in all the expenses, the overhead, all the different types of revenue that can be generated, and now AI can calculate that and put it together for you in 15, 20 minutes. It's crazy, but use the tool. Use the tool. That reduces cost. It reduces the cost. Focus on repeat business, whatever that might be. And it doesn't always have to be high tech. Like I said, you see these companies that clean houses and do landscape and paint and do roofing and put up fences and do different things and maintain properties and I mean a business that's people have to keep coming back, and you provide that service to them, and like I said, they want to do business with you because you made them happy. You provided a good service, and those businesses are going to win, and they're going to win big, and all of that's going to work out really well. And so you got to be focused on who is your customer, and then make sure that there are enough of those customers to where if you get some percentage of the industry, whether it's 10 or 15 or 20 or 30% in your particular area, that will generate enough revenue to where you can make money. And that's very, very important. So you got to be careful. You want to make sure you don't do anything stupid, and you want to build relationships. So that's the thing I wanted to hit you with today. I don't want to take a lot of your time, but I just want to say, hey, 4 winning traits, 4 things that are winning in business. Absolutely. And it's not always the business. It's how you run the business? Are you using the tools? Is it profitable? Because you're doing smart things and reducing your costs by using the technology that's available today. And did you set your business up so that you can keep the customers coming? And they keep coming, and you can add to that. As you expand and as you grow your business, you want to make sure that you have that. And then you want to make sure that you're doing something for people. That's going to keep them coming back. So, and again, I call it selling into pain, reducing pain, taking a burden off of people by doing things that they really don't want to do, like changing the oil, Jiffy Lube, changing the oil in your car, your truck. Yeah, could I do that? Yeah, sure. I know how to put on an oil filter. I know how to put something under my engine and take that. And I've done this before, and take the bolt out and let the oil drain and put the new filter on, make sure you seal it and do everything right, and then put it back together and put the oil in and drive on. That's what they're going to do. And can you do that? Yes, I can do that. Do I want to do that? No, I don't want to do that. So is it worth it to me to go pay somebody to do that? And they have a rack and they have the oil right there and they do the whole thing and they do enough of it to where you can go in for $125 and you get your oil changed. So same thing for getting new brakes on your car or getting a tune-up and whatever. Now the cars have gotten so complicated now, I can't do that. There was a day when I could replace spark plugs and set the timing, but I can't do that now. I did know how to do it when I was younger on the cars that we had back then, but they were much easier. So these are things that you look for businesses that, and the business doesn't have to be high-tech. Don't get wrapped up in you got to go out and build an AI company because AI is hot. No, what that means is AI is hot. Use it. Use AI. Find the best AI product out there, and it's not expensive. AI is not expensive. It's very cost effective, easy to use, and find the ones that is best for your business that provides the best, and depending on what business you're in, and make sure that you provide a real service. So that's what I wanted to say today. I don't want to take up any more of your time. I want to thank you for watching us today and dialing into this episode. We're going to continue to talk about how do we build businesses and how are we successful. Last thing, remember our sponsor is Brothers Multipurpose Cleaner. Right here it is, Brothers Cleaner and Degreaser. This is sold online. We do appreciate them as our sponsor. You can, and I do want to tell you the special that runs. If you buy 3, you get a 4th one. And these are $15.95. $15.95 for a 32 ounce. Comes with a great sprayer. And this will clean everything. It's a multi-purpose cleaner. Carpet, floors, furniture, windows, countertops, fabrics, cloth, linen, plastics, leather, stainless steel, glass, wood, marble, granite, vehicles, boats, RVs, interior, exterior, on your cars, on your RVs, on your boats, on everything. I'm telling you, people that use this tell me they use it on everything, and it goes very, very well. They have no issues. They have no problems. And if you ever start using it, you're going to keep wanting to buy it. You're going to keep buying more and more of it. And that's what I'm hearing. People call me all the time. I got to have more, got to have more. I saw you advertising it. How do I get it? Well, I'm going to tell you how you get it. You go to brotherscleaner.com and you order it right there. And they will ship it to you, and just give them a week to get it to you. Once you order it, and they'll make that happen. And you can pay for it online. So there you go. That's our sponsor. I want to thank you again for checking us out. And I do say, please subscribe and hit the subscribe button and become a regular with us. We're going to continue to talk about building business and the many, many things that you need to focus on. So if you're starting your business, remember the 4 things, okay? That's what we went over today. You have a blessed day. God bless.